Hey, it's Rick with the Rock Bottom Outreach, and it's Real Talk Friday. Let me tell you what bugs me, bugs the fool out of me, and so I finally overcame this. Don't you love when you go out to eat, and a lot of people are afraid to go eat by themselves in the first place, but all of a sudden the host or hostess says this, just one? What do you mean just one? Just one because I have no friends? Just one because I'm ugly? Just one because my breast stinks? What do you mean just one? I think that's insulting. So you know what I started saying? Two. Mean Jesus. And usually they laugh. And so I really had to change my mindset. And honestly, doing that's never really bugged me. But I know it does bug people. But here, a lot of people say this. When we talk about being lonely, a lot of people don't want to admit they're lonely. Okay? And so people say this. Why are you lonely? You have Jesus. Jesus is always with you. Okay, well, let me come back with this. If that's the case, if we don't need any companion because we just got Jesus, then why was Eve created by God? Because he could have said, Adam, you don't need no woman. I'm all you need. Do you see what I'm saying? Let's go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 2. Let's go to verse 18. The Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. My point is that. So why did God create Eve if God was all he needed? Do you see what I'm saying? And so that's a good thing. I mean, God created a good thing. A woman is a good thing. But let's go back to the lonely part. When you read that, you may interpret that to say, I got to get hitched, man. I got to find me somebody. I need a helper. And you know what? You'll marry anybody. I mean, you'll just jump into it. Don't even know someone regardless of how good the relationship is, because it's not good for me to be alone. Because you know what? Beats being lonely. But there's a lot of marriages that are lonely. A lonely marriage. Okay? And so here's where I'm going with this. Is be careful. Being lonely is something people don't want to talk about because they feel it's a sign of weakness. And, I've been through that. I mean, I've been through an alone time, if you would. And my wife actually works in Oklahoma. And so kind of her calling's in Oklahoma, and then the ministry's here. And then I work here. So a lot of times we spend time separate. And so I do understand that is what lonely looks like, even when you do have God. And, but here's what helped me, and I didn't think about the power of this, is the bear. And if you know me, you've met the bear. The bear's the dog that I adopted back in December 22nd. And I thought he was just a terrier, but he's a Shiba Inu. And so when I walked through that humane and whatever it is, the shelter, there he sat. He sat there looking at me just like this. And I'm like, well, you're pretty cool. I'm going to tell you right now, man, that dog has been the biggest blessing to me. It has been such a huge blessing to me. I love his personality. I'd be lost without Bear. I would be lost without him. And I've always wondered, like, man, why are people so saddened if they lose a pet? It's just a pet, get another one. Well, man, I'll eat my words now because I get that. Here's why I was reminded of this. I pulled up to a street corner yesterday, and there was a homeless guy. And I began to talk to him. I offered him something to drink. In the midst of the conversation, all of a sudden, he goes, oh, and he stopped. And he was looking in the back seat. And that's where Bear was. Bear was sitting in the back seat looking at this guy. This man began to tear up. I kid you not. He said, that little dog looks just like my dog. And that man began to cry. I kid you not. And man, it just reminded me, man, what an amazing thing a pet can be as a companion when you are lonely. Hey, man, a dog don't eat a lot, and he don't gripe at you. He don't throw skillets at you. And so, if you're lonely, before getting just hitched to someone at random, think about getting a pet. But you know what, again, hey man, if you're lonely, that's cool. It's okay to be lonely. It is okay. I mean, and it's okay to be married And so just because you feel lonely doesn't mean you're weak. But look at certain ways to fill that time of loneliness, if you would. A pet, a craft, a Bible study, whatever it is. You could adopt a bunch of kids, 10 or 12 of them. Won't be lonely then. Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach. And from me and the bear, have a great weekend. Woo!